Well, it's been quite a while since I made a video, so I figured I'd give you all a little update of what's been going on, the little bit I have done to it. So I don't remember where I left off the last one, if this quarter panel's still on or not, but anyways, chopped it off so I could get to everything. Managed to knock out the wheel well, chopped out the frame rail, and had to chop out a piece of this rocker, which I think I'm going to be able to salvage other than this little pitting on top. It's actually pretty thick, even though it's got holes there. I'm pretty sure those holes are from welding from a previous repair, because it seems to be pretty thick there. I'm just going to chop that out and throw a patch in there, because I don't feel like replacing a rocker. It's a little more work than I care to do. So anyways, this section from, say, right about here on back, I had to replace. Just put a piece of 16 gauge in there, cut it to fit with the plasma cutter, did a little zip chop. Welded in pretty nice. The only downside is I didn't cut the spots off of this little piece. So welding it in behind here, I couldn't really spot weld, so I just seamed it along the top and then it spotted from back here. Not really going for originality here. I'm not really worried about getting perfect spot welds as the factory. But anyways, I got these Dynacorn rear frame rails. I got this one here. The other one's in the box over there still for the other side, which once I get this one all screwed into place and lined up, I'll start chopping out the other side. But anyways, I was wondering if anybody ever messed with these or ever, I guess, used these Dynacorn frame rails. I'm wondering how straight they are, because they're assembled as far as the torque box for this piece, and then it has the top section which just lays on top like so. Sorry for the noise. But anyways, comes in two pieces, I guess, so you can tack in underneath maybe. Well, I don't really know where you'd tack in there. I'm not really sure why it's separated, I guess. But anyways, separated. I guess I gotta go read up on some spot weld locations. Maybe there are some places inside somehow you get to, but as far as I know, it's outside here and outer lip on the back side over there. But nonetheless, I'm wondering how straight these are as far as the torque box to the actual frame rail alignment to the back. Because it took me a while to get these clamped into place, which I think they're good now. As far as this end, I took some measurements before and lined them back up as far as matching this lip to here, and then of course this bottom edge up to a measuring point on the front and these front frames, and then some cross measurements. So this section seems to be lined up so far. I don't know why, but where the rear seat belt mounts, this hole's not wanting to line up perfect. I've got it fairly straight now to where it's actually boltable, and I got it clamped in place with some washers. However, my spot welds here aren't all lining up perfect, which I did a super hack job. It was whenever I chopped out this frame rail, I was getting irritated, so I took the step drill bit to the max and just went to hacking away. But anyways, this piece underneath here seems to have, let me see if I can get to where you can see it better. This gap here seems to be larger than it should be, which granted this piece right here I'm having to flange outward. It's normally inward and welded from inside of this, which I can't do without taking this upper floor apart, which I'm not doing. So I just bend it outwards and I'm welded on the outside. Not a big deal. I'm not going for factory appearance, like I said. As long as it's structurally sound, I'm happy. But anyways, what I'm seeing is this seems to be lined up fairly good. This, however, is really high. If I go to lay on these back brackets, there's no way in hell that's fitting upright. I don't know if it's just because I have this jack stand up, but the other, it's just held up to the exact same height the other side's at. So I don't know where that should pose an issue. It hasn't. I highly doubt this rear end has sagged that much with the other side quarter still being on. But I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but you'd think it would have flexed this quarter out a lot more to where it'd be visually noticeable, and it hasn't really. This side over here, it sagged a little bit before I got this board put in, but it's, I mean, I raised it right back up to the height it was at before, and it seems to be fine now. This piece had some flex in it. Not really worried, it's getting chopped out anyways. But nonetheless, if anybody's ever messed with these Dynacorns and know if they are out of whack for sure, let me know. Hopefully I'm not going to have to chop up brand new frame rails to re-weld to have them fit, but I have heard of it happening. But I don't think it was Dynacorn, it was some Taiwan or knockoff China made frame rails. I would hope that, I think these were from, it wasn't Mustangs Plus, I think it was CJ I got these from. I would hope CJ Pony Parts wouldn't be selling some expensive ass $400 frame rails that don't fit anyways. I know some things need minor adjustments, but this would be a complete cut and re-weld. But anyways, that's where I'm at so far on this. I'm gonna finish up this side, get probably not gonna do the quarter until later. I'm most likely just gonna get this screwed in with some Tech screws or self-tapping screws, and I'm gonna do the other side, get it all lined up, get this rear piece cleaned up and welded back to that little bracket, and have it all lined up, and then I'll get these quarters once I have the old frame rail solution done. Oh, and I bought this little toy not too long ago from Harbor Freight, by the way. If you do any little small part sandblasting, oh my god, these things are amazing. I used to take a little gravity fed blaster that I had from Harbor Freight to do small parts. This little sucker right here. You dress up like the Michelin Man and you still get covered. This sucker, open the door, throw the part in, it's blasting in like a minute. Take it out and it's completely clean. You got a little bit of sediment around the bottom where I got to seal it up a little better on the corners, but other than that, thing is amazing. But as far as parts wise, I'm set up with the rear. Those are the rear floors that'll go over the top of the torque boxes in the corners. And like I said, floor pans are inside. I got mini tubs from Mustangs Plus, and the other, I think the outer tubs from CJ in here. Oh, and not to do a whole lot of advertising for Eastwood, or not meaning to advertise for them necessarily, but I bought this little masterpiece from them. This little wire wheel. I think it comes in a pack of 4 or 5 or 6 of them or something like that. Suckers do pretty good for inside of this frame. Or well, I guess it's the suspension mounting point. I don't know what the actual term for it, but up inside of here where you can't really get to, I hit that with this little mini needler, D-scale or whatever, and then followed up with that wire wheel. And then I had to get the little die grinder in some tight areas, but hit all that, cleaned it up pretty good, sprayed in some rust converted that they also sell, and then followed up with internal frame coating. Same thing for inside of here. All internal frame coated. It's been that way for a couple of weeks now and no signs of rust. Granted, that's not that long, but they say it lasts for quite a while, so I'll let y'all know. I'm sure I'll be working on this thing for 2 years before I get the damn thing back on the road, so another year or so I'll let y'all know how it still looks, if it's rusted through yet. But from what I hear, they're top notch. So like I said, anybody has an update that wants to let me know on these frame rails, give me some tips, pointers on how to do it, measuring tricks, anything like that, shoot me a comment or something, let me know. Till next time, guys, thanks for watching.